Hey there, everybody. Okay, we have Lizelle and we have CJ Calver. Okay, we have Lizelle and we have CJ Calver. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Good as gold? Okay, I have a list of stuff that I'm going to go through. And then after I'm done my list, I'll open it up to questions. To You can ask me anything that's not disgusting enough to get me kicked off of YouTube. Nothing that's like super personal. Like I'll answer pretty much anything, but I'm not going to answer like how long the hammer is or nothing like that. So yeah, I want to get through this list of my material first, and then we'll get into the good stuff. The first thing I want to talk about is kids can make you laugh. Kids make me laugh all the time. Uh, I was out buying some stuff from the dollar store, and it's the only place I can really afford anything because my government pension is really small. And so, yeah, I picked up a few items from the dollar store, and I'm walking home, and I wear dark glasses because my eyes are really super sensitive to light. So I got my head down because the sun's beating down on me, and I'm just kind of walking along, and I see this out of the side of my vision. I see this spent condom on the ground. And the first thought that came to my mind was, "Ooh, yuck!" And then immediately I start, like laughing at myself because I know enough about first aid, and I'm smart enough to know that AIDS can't jump up off that used condom, go through my blue jeans, and infect my leg. So I start laughing at how silly I was about this. And I get up about another 20 or 30 feet or whatever like that. And all of a sudden, this little boy who's about 4 years old just rolls right on by me. And I can hear where he stopped, and I'm a really good judge of distance. And I know what he found because as soon as I hear the brakes hit on that bicycle, the mother was like 10 feet in front of me. And she was a beautiful woman, like just gorgeous. And that look of beauty went from the look of to a look of horror. Watching her son, all of a sudden I hear in the back behind me is, "Mommy, mommy, look, I found a balloon." And wet naps start flying out of that purse like they're lightning bolts. And I'm trying not to laugh to make things worse for the mother, but it's just killing me inside. I'm just giggling. I get around the corner and I just let it out. I just couldn't take it anymore. But that made me laugh for God months. Um, that's just one of the crazy incidents that happen around me. Um, I've always been a very perceptive, very aware of my surroundings and what's going on around me and stuff like that. Ever since I was just a little boy, in grade two, I was like 7 years old, and we went from block printing, like typing, like block printing, to hook and loop cursive writing in school. And I had brought a brand new level of class clown to the school. The teachers weren't ready for me. A lot of the teachers didn't like me because apparently I interrupted their class. I thought I just made it more entertaining for them to wit that to teach. So this one teacher in particular, she was she was nasty. She just did not like me, and the feeling was mutual. So she writes this great big long note on the board. Probably took her an hour and a half to write this note on the board. And she's expecting 7-year-old kids who are just learning how to decipher this new, hieroglyphics to not only understand what these words say, but to copy them down in their notes in 45 minutes. So I figured, like I'll just scribble it out in my notes. When I get home, I'll have more time. Then I can neaten it up. So I figured that was a good plan. So I'm sitting there, I'm just going at it. And the teacher's walking around checking everybody's notes. And then she stops at mine. She looks at mine. She goes, "Can you actually read that?" Because like when I get nervous or I feel like in too much of a rush, I can't even read my own handwriting. My doctor tried reading my own handwriting, and he just like, "No, I better fill these forms out for you." So um, she looks at my penmanship, and it looked more like Picasso's version of ink stains in a windstorm. And she's like, "You stand up and read that chicken scratch to the rest of the class." Well, my parents always told me when I was younger that if an adult figure tells you to do something and it's morally correct, there's value in it. It's not harmful to anybody. You have to do it. So I did exactly what the teacher told me to do. I grabbed my book, I stood up, and I was like, well, she got so pissed at me, she couldn't even speak. She just pointed to the door. So I figured, okay, I'm going to the office for the fourth time today. So I made my way to the office, and the principal asked me why I was back, and I told him. And after he stopped laughing, the period was over. So he just gets on the intercom and hails the teacher to the office, starts reaming her out for mocking a student, gave her 2 weeks off without pay. I was like, I won one. So yeah, that's how bad my handwriting is. Like, can you read it? And that's my printing. If it would have been my writing, there'd be like no way. You'd be like Doctor Who. So later on in life, for my birthday every year for a while, my buddies and I would all get together and we'd take off to my one buddy's parents had a cottage that they let us use. And the first time I was there, everybody's like, "Oh, you got to try cliff jumping. You got to try cliff jumping." I'm. It's hard for me, Eddie. It's hard for me to do this and give out moderator like every time somebody comes in. So if you can just hang on until the end, then we can get all that done. I got it. I want to get the material done as I'm going. Uh, so they're like, "Oh, you got to try out cliff jumping. You got to try out cliff jumping." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever. I'm not afraid of heights. I'm not afraid of water." So I was like, "Let's do it." So we get there and it's kind of late at night, so we just party the night. And then the next morning we get up and we go to this cliff. And my buddy's driving around. And he's showing us on the depth finder how deep the water is. And there's like 180 feet of water, so there's no chance of us hitting bottom. And I'm looking up at this cliff, and I'm like, "Oh boy, this is big. This is a big drop." So we anchored the boat. He stayed. My buddy that his parents owned the cottage. He stayed in the boat, and that should have given me the first clue. So the rest of us, we go off we swim to the shore. And as we're climbing up this, I'm cracking jokes because it's taking us a while to get up this cliff. I'm cracking jokes all the way up, and yeah, I swear, like just because of the way my mind works, I'm kind of loony. I saw a mountain goat going, "Bad idea, bad." And then we finally get to the top of the cliff, and like I didn't realize at that particular time or before this particular time that we were going to be hurling our bodies off of Mount Olympus because there's Zeus pointing the way to the demon drop. So my buddy, my one buddy Jeffy, he's like, all you got to do is just close your eyes, plug your nose, cover your mouth. All is good. Watch. So he takes off your banzai. Like I said, we were up there waves. Splash. So I'm like, I wait for him to get out of the way, and I did what Jeffy said. Now, when my feet touched the water, there was a little bit of a difference between what Jeffy told me how what would happen and what I actually experienced. Have you ever had a flashback? When your mind reminds you of something that maybe you should have paid a little bit more attention to earlier on in life, and it's telling you that there's danger ahead, that you should pay attention? This happened to me. All of a sudden, I had a flashback of grade 6 science class when we were supposed to be learning the properties of water displacement theory and the path of least resistance. Now, in water displacement theory, when you break water, it will go someplace. And with the path of least resistance, it will find the easiest place to go. Both things happen. The water got dispersed, and let me tell you, it found a place to go. Now, when I found out where that water went, I was in a real rush. Have you ever had something called an enema? That's when the doctor squeezes a bottle of water up your butt. Let me tell you, it wasn't fun. Have you ever had an enema at free fall speeds? That hurts. I never swam so fast. I broke the surface of the water, and I was swimming so fast I was creating a wake. You probably could have water skied behind me. It was like, look out, Michael Phelps, here I come. Get out of my way. I get to shore. I find this tree. I get my shorts down around my knees. I back up against this tree, and I just let it go. Caca all over the place. After I get done, I pull my shorts up and I'm tying them up. My buddy Jeffy's up at the top looking over, going, "Hey, want to go again?" Sure. You know. So while Jeffy and all the rest of the guys are going bonsai, I'm sitting there. I'm running off the edge of it, going, "Don't forget to close the back door." And a funny thing that happened after that, the whole week that we were up there, was my buddy Brad and I. We stayed up for the entire week, and everybody else left, and we were just fishing and doing other things, going golfing and stuff like that. But on our way home, we stopped off at this place called Canada's Wonderland, which was on the way, and it cost us like $65 to get in, Canadian. This is going back in like the 1990s, like the late 1990s, and it cost us like like I said, $65 to get in, and then all the food there is like super priced up. And by the end of it, it cost me like $200, and I usually like to get some kind of value out of my money. So this is the value I got out of that trip to Canada's Wonderland for like $200. I got sunburnt. I was about as red as an apple. I got sunstroke. I wasn't feeling good for a couple days. Got heat exhaustion, and I paid way too much money for food. And then on top of that, every time I went on a ride, this teenager with pimples on his face would push the bars down so hard that it would basically crack the family jewels. So I walked out of there 3 octaves higher. And on the way to the truck, I said to my buddy, I was like, I wonder how much it's going to cost us next year. So, um, a lot of people have asked me, are you single? Are you married? Do you have kids? Blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not. I've never been married. I don't have any kids that I know about. I'm still afraid of a knock on the door and a court ordered DNA test, but that's beside the point. But in my past, I've had, you know, a plethora of girlfriends. I'm not saying how many, that it's a good number or a bad number or whatever, but I've had a bunch of girlfriends. And this one girlfriend I lost because of technology, if you can believe it. You ever had one of those flip phones where you flip it open like Captain Kirk on um, Starship Enterprise? There, beam me up, Scotty. Well, I had one of those, and my girlfriend was trying to teach me how to text. Like I met this girl like in like late December, between Christmas and New Year's. We ended up going to a New Year's Eve party together and decided, hey, let's be boyfriend girlfriend kind of thing. Things were going great. She's teaching me how to text on my phone. Everything's going great. And she showed me how to do the ha- the colon bracket for a smiley face. So Valentine's Day comes around, and our shifts are opposite. She was a daytime nurse, and I was a shift work factory worker. And I just happened to be on afternoons when Valentine's Day came around, and I was like, oh, "What am I going to do about this?" So I said, "Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'll take you out the weekend before. We'll go out. We'll have dinner and dancing or a movie, and then the weekend after, I'll take you out again. We'll do dinner in the opposite." So she was game for that. Hey, Larry, she was game for that because she got to celebrate Valentine's Day twice. So, what woman wouldn't? Like, raise your hand. Give me a one if you're a woman and you don't want to celebrate Valentine's Day twice when the guy is paying for it. So, the weekend before comes along and I take her out for this really, really nice restaurant. Like, nice as in, it's not like filet mignon. It's not like, some waiter hands us this little plate of food and it costs like $500. I'm talking about nice as in you get what you pay for. And, we get done our food and, we go to the movies and we find out, there's nothing there that we want to watch. So we go out and do some dancing. We go out and do this club and, we're doing some dancing. Next thing you know, we end up at this motel room. We have ourselves a little nice little night. And then we go back the next morning. So then, like Tuesday was Valentine's Day, and I figure, okay, I'm gonna text her, but I don't want to text her while she's at work because, like, she should either save lives or answer my text. So I figured I'd wait till she was done working, and when I was working. So while I'm working, I'm sitting there texting, and it's hard to text on those old flip phones, and this is going back before like um, the keypad. You had to use the numbers and press the number a certain number of times to get the right letter. So it was like sending SOS messages on a Titanic, just to get the message across before you can send it. And I'm trying to work, send this text message at the same time. And then I'm fumbling around with this thing. And after a while, I got to the point where I got sick and tired of trying to type Happy Valentine's Day. And I just typed in Happy V space D space colon bracket. And I hit send right away. And then I looked at it again and I started laughing. I was like, well, that could be taken a few different ways. So I closed the phone. You can't take it back. You can't unsend it. So I just closed the phone, put it in my pocket, and said, hope she gets the right idea. I didn't hear from her for 3 days. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday afternoon, she finally texts me back. And I'm sitting there and I read this text while I'm at work. And I closed my phone. I put it in my pocket. I was like, I got to call her at lunchtime. It's the only way I can get away from this text. I can't spell my way out of this. So at lunchtime, I hurry up and I go outside and have my smoke, I got my coffee, and I call her up to answer to the text message that she sent me that said, I don't have VD. Maybe you should get checked out. Well, she wouldn't take any kind of responsibility that she was given a text message that read Happy V space D space on Valentine's Day. She took it as if I gave her a sexual transmitted disease and went to the doctor and got checked out. That relationship lasted about 20 minutes after that phone call. It did not last long after that. Just goes to show you how some people just they just think they're right and that's all there is to it. But speaking about when I was working, I always loved to have fun when I was working because it makes the day go by a little faster. It makes have you ever had a bad time that lasts forever? Yeah, it happens all the time. You ever had a good time that lasts forever? Hell no. That's why they say I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So that was my attitude when I was working. I go there, I try to make it as fun as possible, and I leave. So a lot of the times when I show up at a job, things just happen. They just unfold. And this one time when I was at this pool company, I was cleaning this pool for this couple, and they were having a pool party that weekend. And there's sharks, like shark toys, all over the place on this deck. So this little girl that lived there, she was she was enthralled with sharks. And I've got a patch of psoriasis on the back of my left leg, and sometimes it looks really bad, really rough. And this little girl looked at it and she goes, "Mister, did you get bit by a shark?" And I was just about ready. I was laughing a little bit. And her mother started saying, "You shouldn't ask a question like that." Just as I turned around and said, "Oh, yeah, but I don't taste very good." So he spit me back out. Well, this little girl, bless her heart, just looked straight back at me and said, "You're lucky you don't taste very good." That made my day. That made my day. She made me laugh so hard that day it wasn't funny. Another time I was working at a pizza place, and like I worked at the pizza place and at the factory, just for shits and giggles, having fun, extra money. So I got in trouble for something somebody else did at the factory, and I got blamed for it. And I was like, don't blame me. I didn't do it. I'm not going to tell you who did it. So, so find out who actually did it. Come back and apologize. So I went home after my shift, and on my way home, all of a sudden it's tractor day. Every tractor in the county's in front of me, and I got to wait for these guys to get out of the way. And I was late for my pizza delivery job. So I finally get my pizza uniform on. I clock in, and there's an order right there ready to go. And they say, "You got to take this away." I wanted a few minutes just to mellow out. But, in the heat, I had to take this out. So I take this off. And luckily, it was just down the road. I get there, and I'm trying to be as positive as possible. And I get to the door, and the father of the family opens the door, and I say, "Hey, how you doing today? Hungry, I hope." As I'm, trying to, make a joke, kind of bring the transaction up a little bit. And this little girl, about 2 years old, cute as a button. She's like, "Pizza guy's here, pizza guy's here, pizza guy's here," and she's doing this little dance, and it just brightened my day up a little bit. So I hand her the pop bottle, this 2 liter pop bottle, and she's got it like this, and she's trying to waddle it into the kitchen, and just that alone made me laugh a little bit. So as the father's handing me the money, and I'm handing him the pizzas, I find out that this little girl has a twin sister, and the twin sister was in the bathtub. And I know this because when she got to the door, she was not only dripping wet, but she was still naked, going, "Pizza guy's here, pizza guy's here, pizza guy's here." Well, I start getting tears in my eyes because I'm holding back the laughter. And the father of the family just says, "Well, I bet that happens a lot, eh?" I said, "Yeah, usually they're a whole lot older when they do that." So the guy just says, "Keep the change." He gave me like a $5 change, $5 tip. So I get back into my truck. I head out, and I'm just sitting there just losing it. I'm laughing so hard. And then another one is I was working at this restaurant, and this one guy, I started on December 2nd. Then I went to their Christmas party, which was cool. And then like a week later, they promoted me from janitor, which was what I got hired for, to cook. So I had to learn all the prep cook, learn all the how to make the dishes. So this one guy that was trying to train me how to do cooking, I went to school with. His name was Rob. I'm not going to say his last name, but his name was Rob. And I go up to him and I said, "Yeah, you're supposed to show me how to cook today." He goes, "Yeah, yeah, but I got thinking about something. I think I finally figured it out." I was like, "Oh yeah, what's that?" "How to cut onions, no tears." I'm like, I might need to know how to do this. So I'll tell you what, I'll give you a hand, but I got to do the bathrooms first. So whatever I got to do to help you get set up, tell me, and I'll get that done, and then I'll go and do my bathrooms, and I'll come back and help you out. Don't start a thing." He's like, "Okay, just go back there and peel me up a bag of onions." So I was like, "All right." So I peel him up this bag of onions, and take the skins off, take the heads and tails off it, and I get them all set up there. I said, "Now remember, don't start anything until I get back." So I go out and do the bathroom, do my job on the bathrooms, come back in, I wash my hands. Now, to get into the prep kitchen from the restaurant area, you got to go through this door. You take this little jaunt like this, you go down this little hallway. There's a plating kitchen on this side, there's a dishwasher area on this side. And then you got to do this little 90 degree to get around where the takeout section was. And as I get around those 290 degrees, I see this moron on the meat slicer going with these onions. And every time he crosses that blade, the onion just goes like this. And he's got tears rolling down his eyes. As soon as I saw him do that, I start busting a gut laughing. Like I'm just losing it. And the only thing you can hear in the restaurant from 300 feet away behind two closed doors is me laughing. The manager gets up from what she's doing, runs to the back kitchen, comes back there, sees me rolling around on the ground, just losing my ass laughing. And this moron stuffing more onions onto the meat slicer and crossing the blade again. And she yells at him. It took us over a month to get the smell out of that kitchen, but it took 3 days for that guy to get teased so bad at school because every time I looked at him, I would laugh. And people would go, "Hey, why you keep laughing at Rob?" So I tell them the story. All of a sudden, they start teasing him and they start laughing at him every time they see him. I didn't mean for this to happen, guys. 3 days it took that he was so embarrassed, he left the province, quit his job, quit school, left the province, gone. And I felt bad. I felt really bad, but I couldn't help laughing at the guy. Every time I cut an onion now, I keep thinking about that story. I was like, wow, that guy was pretty dumb. And then in factory working, I always, like had fun with people, doing this, doing that, whatever. One time I had to get my wisdom teeth taken out. So as soon as I told my boss that I had to get my wisdom teeth taken out, she was like, "Oh, yep, you get a week off." Signs up the leave of absence. There you go. Here's your week off after your surgery. I was like, far out. And they call it dental surgery. So I showed my paper to a couple of my coworkers. Oh, you got surgery? What's going on? I was like, oh, years ago, people told me I had to stick up my ass about something. Now that I have benefits, I can finally get it removed, and they believe me. 350 people all believed I was having surgery to get a stick removed from my butt. So I played along with it. I went into work my next scheduled day with a little twig in a Ziploc bag and said, "Hey, they let me keep it." So, um, another funny thing that happened at the factory was actually happened before the factory. Was this one guy we worked with. He was called. His nickname was Mr. Personality because he had such a lovely personality, and you just never knew what kind of personality he was going to have that day, whether it was going to be happy, sad, bitchy, whatever. So we're sitting there, and I had picked up my buddy, my one coworker from his house, and we stop off at Tim Hortons for a coffee on the road. And Mr. Personality was in the car ahead of me, just getting ready to go up to the speaker. So I rolled down my window. I leaned up and leaned my head out, and I was like, "Oh, Don, you're such a great friend. Oh, I don't know what I did to earn such a wonderful friend like you buying my coffee today. Oh, you're such a wonderful human being. I just love you, man. You're such a great guy." Well, this guy turned around, looked at me, and goes, "Why don't you just suck my beep?" About that long after the guy from Tim Hortons said, "Welcome to Tim Hortons. What can I do for you?" As soon as that happened, I had tears coming out of my eyes. I was laughing so hard. I couldn't even hardly drive. I would have given $1,000 for a picture of that guy's face right after he heard that. So I get my coffee. and it took normally it takes about 20 minutes to get to work. It took me almost an hour to get to work that day because I had to keep pulling off because me and my co-pilot were just roaring the entire way there. And so yeah, that's some of my fun stories at work and stuff. Now for the piece de la resistance. Some of you know this because you were here last week, but some people like Lizelle and CJ Calverhart, um, this story is probably the story that you're waiting for. Why they call me Crazy Kid. Back in 1996, my coworkers convinced me to buy a computer and get on the internet and start, meeting people, from around the world. And I could learn a whole lot about, different places of the world that I may or may not be able to get to before I die. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm game. Let's do this. So I get on there. I'm in a Yahoo chat room, and I'm chatting with this person from Hong Kong, and we're talking about different places in our countries that travel agents don't send you to because they're not getting any kickbacks on it. So I was learning a bit from this person from Hong Kong, and all of a sudden, this was my first ever encounter with a what they call a troll. This person come into the chat room and he started insulting and teasing people until they left. And then he would count them off, going 1, 2, 12, 20. There was 65 people in this room before he got in there, and when he started attacking me, there was like 35 or 40 people in there, and I don't back down from somebody trying to be an idiot. I'll stand my ground and basically show him how much of an idiot he is. So him and we get into this battle, and I was hunting and pecking for every one of the 7 words I could type, and he was typing like 50 words a minute. So I'm sitting there, I'm battling back and forth with this moron, and about 30 minutes later, 30 minutes into the argument, I'm up to about 25 words a minute. I'm rocking it, and he's down to about 25 words a minute himself, and he starts into the your mama jokes, thinking that's going to push my button. So I'm sitting there, and he gets into these your mama jokes, and I fire a few back. He fires a few more at me, and I fire a few more back at him. And I all of a sudden I just start getting a little tired of this. So I typed this one in on him. I was like, "Well, I can tell that your mother is completely horrible at giving oral sex because you're here." And I hit enter. And as soon as that guy read that, he's like, he typed this back, basically shoving his own foot in his mouth. He said, "What do you mean? My mom gives great oral sex." And the entire room just lit him up. And all I typed in was, "Oh, really now?" So at the time, my screen name was kid underscore at underscore heart. And this was back in 1996. And after he got ridiculed by so many people all at once, he liked the option of one on one he can handle. 35 people nailing him all at once. Yeah, he was gone. So then I just hit one. And then everybody started laughing. They're all, "Oh, that was Crazy Kid. That was Crazy Kid." And they all said, "Hey, you ought to change your name to Crazy Kid and come back in." So hence, Crazy Kid. You know, the 949 part came when I was in a Ghost Recon guild. Um, that can go off, but realistically, they just call me Crazy Kid. A lot of people just call me Kid for short, even though I'm like 51 years old. But yeah, that's pretty much the material that I wanted to get through. Uh, and I'll start handing out some jackets, and we'll help you guys out. This may take me a little while because my computer's a slow ass podunk piece of junk. Sir Eddie's house coming right up. Cooking with Sheehan. Dave the Trains Man. Wazell. I hope everybody enjoyed themselves. Um, it means a lot to know that your material is reaching the audience. So does anybody have any questions they'd like to ask me? Like to know anything more about me? We got 3 people in the house. This might be a short live stream. 2 people in the house. Is there anybody left? Hey, Jismar. How do you get that ad on for YouTube? What ad on? The StreamYard? Are you looking for the StreamYard add on? This computer's a slow ass piece of shit. Hey, Larry. Yeah, I'm still working on that set of videos that I wanted to make you. I may have to do them separately and then put them all together. The one you're vidIQ. Are you talking about the vidIQ um, uh, add-on? Let me see if I got it listed in my URLs. YouTube description. Video URL. Oh, Darna. Hey, Darna. How you doing? You missed the show. Oh, you missed the show. I just did a bunch of stand-up routines. If there's any questions you got, uh, just let me know, and I'll see about answering them. Yeah, as long as they're not like disgusting that it's gonna knock me off of YouTube, I'll answer them. And as long as they're not like hey, how long's the hammer? Okay, let's open Office, OBS, GIMP, Krita, Shortcut. I have to. I'll have to like if you go to it's vidIQ, and what you do is you go into their description box and you download or you sign up for their service. But there's the free service, which is what I have, And then there's also a paid service that you can get that has a whole lot more. And if you have the money, I recommend it highly. I can't recommend it high enough. If you have the money and you're looking at making YouTube into a serious business, because that's what YouTube can be for you, is a serious income, giving you a serious business. So if you have the money, if you have extra funds available every month, then and you want to get your YouTube channel, fast tracked, they will teach you how to do that, how to get that in the fast track lane. So I can't stress how useful their program is. So if you just go to vidIQ, go to their website, click on practically any one of their videos, especially their live streams, and just go down into the description box, expand it, and then there's all kinds of useful tools in there. There's TubeBuddy, there's vidIQ, there could be there's a number of things that are in their description boxes. I don't want to make any promises of any other thing than. Oh, thank you, Gary. I'll get back to you as soon as I get off the live stream. Um, I'm not going to make any guarantees about any of the other items that's in their description boxes, but I know that vidIQ service is in there. They put that in all their description boxes. Um, but yeah, it's a wonderful tool. Like you can go up there and refresh your sub count without having to go to your YouTube studio. Like I can see on my dashboard up at top where the search bar is. I can see that this year I've had 50 hours in the lat or in I've got 483 subscribers. I can set what I want to see in oh excuse me in those boxes, and I can hit the refresh button, and when I drop it down, I can see my hours watched, my views, views for the last 48 hours, views for the last 60 minutes, shorts views for the last 48 hours, views in the last 7 days, minutes watched in the last 7 days, and total subscribers. I could see all that just by hovering over the information. So it's a wonderful tool, and I highly recommend it to anybody who um, is thinking about making this into a viable business. Yes, there is a free service. There's a free version which I use, and then you can upgrade it later uh, at your leisure to like I think there's like three different levels. But the one I would personally recommend is their vidIQ Max, because then you get channel reviews on a constant basis. You get video reviews on a constant basis. They give you all kinds of tips on how to bring your channel and your business to the next level. But I need to slip outside for a smoke real quick. I'm just gonna play you one of uh, the intros, or not intros, but one of the uh, things that I made from watching vidIQ. They showed me how to go to canva.com and create these little movie clips that I put in my videos. And this is one of them that I made for when I go take a break for a cigarette. So I just say, take a break, grab a coffee, grab a drink, grab some popcorn, have a cigarette, go use a bathroom, smoke them if you got them. So here's a little video that I'll show you. I'll loop it until I get back. Okay, I'm back. Looks like everybody stayed. Yay! Let me get back to the questions here. Um, I will get a coffee. Oh, Miss Jai, Miss Jai, your channel keeps moving. I can't hit the button. Come on, there we go. Hey, sorry about that, Miss Jai. It kept moving and it kept jotting. My computer's so slow I can't. I don't know how to view deleted message. View deleted message. View deleted message. View deleted message. Uh, Does that make everything go back? Yeah, yeah. The screen kept moving and moving and moving, and it when I clicked down on what I wanted to click on, it moved up, and I was like, oh shit! I had a little bit of lag on this thing. Yeah, I need a better computer. Are you there, Miss Jai? Uh, this dumb computer. I tell you, I meet anybody from Microsoft updates. Oh, I'm definitely gonna have fun with them. Ah, ah. Yeah, ever since they started pushing the updates for Windows 11, my computer can't handle Windows 11. So it's been corrupting everything that I have in my computer ever since they've been pushing that stuff out. So, yeah, I'm just not having a good time with them. So I need to get, my channel really rocking so I can get a new computer and be able to do things that, do things properly. Oh, by the way, any comments or concerns about that scroller that I had going on? You guys like it? Don't like it? Wow, the chat box is quiet today. Oh no, you're both sick now. So yeah, I'm back down to 483 again. I was at 506, and then all of a sudden, YouTube decided, no, no, there's a bunch of people that just did the hit and run, and off they go. So I lost like 40 there, and then I gained back to 495. Then I went back to 460. Then I got it back up to like 490. Then it kicked me back down to 467, and then I'm back up to 483 now. It's like yo-yo, and it ain't the yo-yo that I was looking for. I wonder which chat box is actually faster, the one on YouTube or the one on StreamYard. Um, so do you guys like that take a break camera roll that I did? Let us start with that question. Apparently not. Nobody's answering. Houston, we have a problem. I just got back from the kitchen. Cool. Yeah, my kitchen's like 10 feet away from me, and all I got to do is just reach through the hole in the wall for coffee. So yeah, I can get there, pour coffee, get back, because I don't put nothing in it. I drink my coffee black. I drink it. I used to drink it straight out of the pot. I had to quit doing that because it took too long to make next cup. Um. So Larry, did you see that camera roll that I did? I made that on Canva. I'll give you a peek at it. Why does it pause at 3? Probably because my computer is a slow ass piece of shit and it can't keep up. Oh, you mean 3 o'clock? Yeah, I have no idea. That's just the way that the picture that I downloaded for it, um, the picture of the clock, that's just where it went. So I didn't have any choice in the matter. I like that ice green tea, Larry. Yeah, I can't drink tea. I bring tea like this close to my nose, and I feel like filling it up with something different. No, 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 there wasn't any kind of meaning. Um, it was just the way that the, the motion went on the particular thing that I stamped on there. But yeah, I made that on Canva.com, and it's free. There's some paid stuff on Canva. You have to watch for crowns and dollar signs. But if you just keep that in mind and then just, like create your own stuff, yeah, you can make a whole bunch of stuff for free. Like I make all my thumbnails, all my intros, I make all my outros. I make all that with Canva. It's a wonderful site. Um, it's free, like I said, free to use. Yeah, I drink mine with black with no sugar. I've been drinking mine straight out of the pot. Like you just pour it in a cup and give it to me. Um, uh, it's just like I like the natural flavor of coffee without any preservatives or any all that other stuff in it. Just and believe it or not, even though I drink my coffee like straight out of the pot, I go to Tim Hortons, and like sometimes these people they they don't pay attention. I say I need a large coffee, large black coffee, double cup, and they'll hand it to me, and it'll be double double, and I'll shake it, and there's cream coming out of the top, and I said, that is not double cup, that is double double. I asked for double cup. How do you mix up? Just pour it in a coffee, put a lid on it, put another cup on along with it, and hand it to me. How do you drink your coffee there, Gary? Yeah, I was about 19 years old too. Yeah, it was. I was watching a Blue Jays baseball game, and it was late at night. And my mom said, "Hey, I made a pot of coffee. You want a cup?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can go for a cup." And I was getting uh, like gut rot from all the cream and sugar, so I just started taking it out. Like I was drinking double double at the time, and then the first cup I was like, well, I'm gonna cut back one and one. So I went to one and one. I was like, wow, this is pretty good. And then I cut the cream out completely, and I was like, this is even better. So then I started cutting back the sugar, and by the end of that pot of coffee, I was down to just like a half a teaspoon of sugar. And I was like, after a while, I was like, why even bother putting the sugar in it? So I just different than round. Anytime somebody says I should get back into shape, I always tell them you had to be in shape before to get back into shape. Sweetener now, about 49 years ago. Wow. Yeah. I don't know why you went back to cream and sugar or cream and sweetener. I just, I drink coffee all day, all night long. This is my favorite drink of all. If I'm not drinking this, I'm drinking Dr. Pepper. Well, I always tell my doctor when he said, "Oh, you need to get into shape." I said, "An amoeba is a shape." Yeah. Speaking about coffee, un momento. I'm still with you. I just got a long enough cord to make it to the coffee maker. Yeah, I was 16. I was about 16 when I started drinking coffee. but yeah, about 15, 16 actually. Um, I was working in a like on midnights in um, a tomato factory, cleaning out train cars, like cleaning the tomato paste out of train cars. Shoveling the tomato paste. No, I'm not pregnant. Wrong gender to be doing that. Um, I just got better at cooking. Um, but I would have to shovel from one end of the train car to the middle where the pipe was to get the paste to go down into the pipe, and then we'd wash it out with hot water. Um, but I was drinking coffee in school. Yeah, I'd bring a thermos of coffee to school, and the teachers were like, "No, you're not supposed to have that here." I was like, "It's either that, either I'm drinking this or I'm falling asleep in your class because you are really boring." But yeah, I've had all kinds of different jobs. I was a lift truck driver for most of my working career. Gismar, he made love to a long distance operator, and she reversed the charge. That's funny, Larry. That is funny. Yeah. Um. What else is? You have any other questions in the audience? Maybe I should take a little time and shamelessly plug my books. These are just two of them. I got to make sure I'm on Streamyard here to make sure I see this properly. These are two of my books. I didn't do the artwork. Um, I had a buddy of mine draw the pictures of the for the covers. Uh, uh, it's basically about a dream that I had that wouldn't go away. Oh, you liking it? How deep are you into it? Yeah, those books are available on. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. His second birthday. Second? Yeah, it would have been around his second birthday. um, yeah. Yeah, I wrote a poem a long time ago when I was suffering a um, nervous breakdown, and it's probably the best piece of poetic literature that I've ever written. But I'm not normally a writer. Like, don't mix up me being like Stephen King or J.K. Rowling or anything like that. Um, I always worked with my hands. Like if there was a hard physical job, hard on the body, yeah, sign me up. I was in for it. To do something with my mind, yeah, it totally boggled me. Like doing this YouTube thing, yeah, I had to learn a lot before I even actually got started. So this way here, I could do, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That's right too. Yeah, yeah. Um, but I, I I didn't get into creative writing for the books until oh shit, it was about 2013. I'd been medically disabled for because of my eyes and migraines for like 4 years um, before I even started writing the books. And it ended up being so far 5 book series. I'm into the sixth. I just haven't decided fully, like in a concrete sense, which direction I want to take the character. So I'm, not in a writer's block. I just like I know how I want to end the story or the I know how I want to end that particular book. Just getting there. Yeah, actually I started with a scene like in the fourth book, but in order for it to make sense, I just basically took it all the way back to the beginning of his life and started there and built him out. So this way here, by the time you get to that spot where I had that reoccurring dream, it would make sense. I had to build up the relationships. I had to build up the you know his comfort level with his abilities, um, his use of his abilities, his you know his demeanor while he's using his abilities, um, and have him have his teaching kind of do this. So this way here, it shows a little bit of there's animosity, but there's also a steady flow to it. First book, 290, 296 if you read the author bio. 295 if you just go to the end of the last chapter. Second book, 298. Let me go get the third and fourth and fifth. I'm gonna have to drop the mic. Okay, this is the same book as. Oh, can you see that? This is the same book as this one. Just this one here is so far the paperback, and when I had my artist draw that picture, I changed just the hardcover over. But once he's done um, building out or drawing out the third, fourth, and fifth books, I'm going. All of a sudden, it went blurry. Um, he's gonna. I'll do each one of these as he gets them finished. But currently, right now, this is the third book. They're all available on Amazon.com. Just um, key in. Actually, let's do this. Uh, there's a link for the first book right there. The third book is 348 pages. It got a little lengthy because he had a lot more going on in this book. Um, he this book is definitely not for kids. There's a scene in here that is for adults only. I'll tell you that much right now. All right. Yeah, we'll see you next week, Larry. But yeah, there's only one scene in this book here that's about maybe 3 paragraphs long, but I don't want to be responsible for saying, "Oh, this is a great kids book," and they go, "Mommy, what's a," you know, no. This one here, parental discretion advised. Um, that's the third book. The fourth book is this one, Hero Extraordinaire, and it's a lot shorter. This one is 160 pages. He doesn't do a whole lot in this book here. And at first, I thought this would be the end of my story, but then all of a sudden, I had some really cool ideas, and I was like, "Hey!" And then I wrote this one, "Pursuit of Justice," and this one is 199 pages. So, yeah, that's my book series that I wrote, and they're all like, it's not just a book series. They actually start off where like the next one starts off literally right where the one before it ended off. So yeah, it's literally one after the other. Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened. So, uh, settings, camera. There, that's better. Well, it would be a good residual income. It would be a good residual income uh, if I could actually get them to start really popping off the shelf, because I actually do have three literary companies that have handed me proposals on them. I just have to bring forth a um, an amount of money for the shared publishing costs in order to work with them. And then once the royalties start coming in, I get my money back before they start getting their royalty share. So it's not that I'm gonna, be out any money by the end of it. It's just that you gotta put it up front. You gotta have money to make money, and like that's another reason why I want to get this YouTube thing going because like I can get the wheels burning behind this, and really get a decent residual income uh, coming in so that I can get off of the disability income and support myself. That's the whole goal. Like the end goal is to be able to support myself rather than, I'd rather be a taxpayer than to be somebody that is dependent upon the taxes. If that makes any sense. How you doing? I can't even pronounce that. Hagil? Is that how you pronounce that? Hagil? Gospel music? Thank you for showing up. I really appreciate it. Yeah, being dependent for me, being dependent on taxpayers' money. Like I've always I've always worked hard for my money. I've always earned my own living until this medical thing happened, and it took a long time for me to get over the depression that I was going through because you go from making like X amount of dollars to all of a sudden now you're making 1/6 of it. It's like a total culture shock. Yeah, not a problem. Can I just call you HGM? Because I don't know how to pronounce that. Hagio? Hagio? Am I close? Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're in the United States. I'm in Canada. And like here in Canada, we have what's called old age pension and CCP, Canada Pension Plan. And you get both. And then, okay, thanks. Um, you get both. Plus, you also get a cost of living supplement, would you say? That's if you don't have a workplace pension. Well, if you have a workplace pension, you really don't qualify for the um, the cost of living supplement because it's to bring you up to this certain level. And a lot of workplace pensions, if you had a decent workplace, like my dad worked for 30 years in one place, got his 30 and out just before they closed the doors, and they had to pay him his pension. And he, his like you got the normal pensioners, CPP and whatnot here. Well, his pension was way up. Not that he was rich by any means, but his pension was way up, plus his savings and whatnot. And even after he hit 65 and they chopped a lot of it back, he's still making a lot more than what the normal pension amount is. So between him and my mom, they're doing okay. And they don't even spend all their pension every month. So they're still saving money for some strange reason. They're still packing money away. And my brother and I are both like, don't don't be saving that money just for my brother and I. Enjoy your life. You earned it. Enjoy yourselves. Show us that you're having a good time with your retirement. Show us that you're happy through your retirement. That's what my brother and I want to see you guys do. We don't want to see you like, scrimp, save, pinch and pennies, things are so tough. No, we want you guys to relax, have fun, do what makes you guys happy, makes you guys laugh, makes you guys feel like the day was pleasurable. So, I was like, don't ask me if you can buy this or if you can buy that. No, just if it's something you desire that will make you guys happy, knock yourselves out. I don't care. If you guys leave me a nickel, as long as I know that you had the best time that you could have with the money that you earned through your lifetime, that would be enough for me. So, but they just keep socking money away for some reason. I don't know why. Workplace pensions in the U.S. are all gone down unless you're in a union. Yeah, same thing here. Unless you got a union tying them up, you know, you're pretty much fish out of water kind of thing when it comes to being retired. But yeah, and the cost of living here in Canada is just it went up like 50%, and our pension, like my pension, hasn't seen an increase in 5 years because the style of government that we have or the brand of government that we have in our province, they uh, they like to take away from the people that need it the most and give it to the people that funded their campaigns. It's like, hey, wait a minute, just because I didn't fund your campaign doesn't mean I can't put an X on somebody else's name to kick your ass out of there. And I keep reminding our constituents, our contestants for the office. Hey, your X revolves around how much you help the majority of the population out, not how much you help your charity, your bribers. So, like, you may be getting money from them to do stuff, but you're getting votes from us to stay in. Yeah, me too. Where are you at, Gary? Where are you at in the U.S.? I'm in southern Ontario near Detroit. Yeah, and if I can get my books and my YouTube channel going, and we both get down to the Philippines, 'cause that's where I want to end up too. This whole snow stuff, yeah, you know, it can take the bird. Maryland, nice, nice. Yeah, see, I'm actually further south than you are. I'm like literally an hour's drive from Detroit City. and that's even crossing the border. For the most part, they do. Have you watched any other uh, YouTube vloggers from the Philippines? No, 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 no. You're more north. I'm pretty sure you're more north. You're right next to New York, aren't you not? Oh yeah, I am more north. Okay, I thought you were next to New York. Okay, I stand corrected. Have you ever watched the Filipina P? Like I've watched Filipina P, Paul, Old Dog in the Philippines, Geo. Um, my favorite ones to watch in the Philippines is Fourth Impact, bar none. But they're not vloggers; they're singers, and they do like a weekly live stream Sundays at 9 in the morning. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She's good people. Old dog, he's funny. He just sits there. He tells it like it is, and he don't care if you like it or not. That's the way he's going to deliver it. Yeah, I've only watched like 3 or 4 videos from Geo, but yeah, he seemed pretty cool. But I like it when old dogs got May on there. Not awake at 9 a.m. Ooh, geez, I'm awake at like 4 a.m. Sometimes I'm awake at 4 a.m. Then I get knocked back out about 8, 9 o'clock. Get up about 10 after suffering from a migraine for about an hour. Then I'll get back up for a few hours and go knock out for another couple hours after having another migraine. Oh, I'm up and down. I'm up and down all day, every day, like a yo-yo. Especially when the weather keeps changing. Like now that we're getting into September and in the fall, yeah, it's gonna be I'm gonna be up and down like a damn yo-yo. Don't go to sleep until 4 a.m. And you get 5 hours sleep in a row. That's good. I'd love to get 3 hours sleep in a row. My mind just won't shut off. Yeah, my mind just keeps going and going and going. It's like the Energizer Bunny. Oh, this one time, I used to like my next door neighbor on this on the side back there. She would party all night long, almost every night for like 3 months. And after calling the cops a few times on her, I just got sick and tired of it because her living room and my bedroom were like the wall that was either side of the wall. My bedroom and her living room. Yeah, they're 12 hours ahead. Yeah, that's why. Um, but she would put blare her stereo like till like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and then just like ignorantly, just and it would make my bedroom sound like a speaker. And try to sleep inside a speaker when you have a migraine. It's impossible. And I'd end up freaking having like the weirdest dreams trying to sleep because I'd be so angry. And this one dream that I had, oh yeah, oh I've got other neighbors that were horrible, but I had this one dream and it felt so real because I just got done doing my laundry that day. Made my bed all nice, neat with fresh sheets, the whole 9 yards. Made sure my pillows were all tucked nice and neat. And I go to bed that night and she's got the stereo just blaring. And I'm like, oh God. So I finally get about 10 minutes worth of sleep and I get this weird dream. And in this dream, I get up and I go to the kitchen, I make a pot of coffee, pour it into a thermos, and I make a bunch of sandwiches and put them in my backpack and I take off. And I walk from where I'm at to the Detroit border. That was my destination, was to go to the city where the Detroit border is at, which is Windsor. And so I'm, in my dream, I'm walking there, walking there, walking there, walking there, just kind of marching on the way, not realizing what's going on in real life. Now I'm having such a vivid dream that I'm actually being a restless sleeper. And when I wake up, I'm at the end of my dream, I'm at the table at this whistling kettle, this place that I stopped for breakfast, and I'm about to dig into my pancakes, and I just put them in my mouth, and that's when I woke up. Literally at the same time, I'm stuffing my pillow case in my mouth, or my pillow in my mouth. The case itself is hanging on a doorknob. I had three pillows on my bed. One pillowcase was hanging on the doorknob. One was thrown out into the hallway. One was on the windowsill. Um, my comforter was flopped over to the one side of the bed. I'm tucked up in the fetal position, like cocooned in this top sheet, like a cocoon, like a butterfly, freezing my butt off when I wake up, and I've got like one pillow left on my bed. One of them got thrown down to the edge of the bed, and the other one got tossed somewhere else, I think into the closet. And the fitted sheet, the one that has the elastics that goes underneath your mattress? The fitted sheet was 15 feet away on my dresser. It was almost like a tornado went off in this freaking bedroom, and it was just me sleeping for like 15 or 20 minutes. That's how restless the sleep was. That's how angry it was. So, and it felt real because my legs and feet felt like I actually made the trip. I was like, "Oh my god, this is nuts." So the next night I called the cops. I was like, "Screw this. I hear that stereo when I'm trying to sleep. Them cops are getting called." After a while, she stopped playing the music. And then every now and then you hear it, but it wouldn't be so loud. It would be just loud enough that she could hear it, or she had headphones on and she was doing her housework then. Yeah, she quit having parties all the time. Yeah, yeah, that all happened while I was sleeping. It basically looked like a bomb went off. All this shit just flying all over the place. It was almost like a tornado ripped through my bed while I was sleeping. Next thing you know, I'm like cocooned into this top sheet, freezing my butt off. Oh yeah, I've had all kinds of different weird dreams. Yeah. But I'm gonna run outside for a real quick smoke. Uh, I'm gonna play you a different looped uh, video, and while I'm out, so this way here you got something to look at rather than that. So I'm back. I'm located in Canada, Southern Ontario. I want to move to the Philippines. Why? Because number one, cost of living is so much lower. Oh, really? What's the significance it has to you? You weren't one of the guys we were playing Ghost Recon with, were you? Because we were playing Ghost Recon with some guys on the internet back in Oh, I'm gonna say late '90s, early 2000, something like that. Yeah, it'd been early 2000. We were messing around with Ghost Recon with some guys. Oh, same with my dad. Same with my dad. My dad was born in May though. Yeah, but yeah, we were playing Ghost Recon with some guys. There was one guy that was in California. One guy was in Arizona. One guy was in Colorado. One guy was in New York. Uh, they were all over the place. Somehow we got together. But um, one of the guys I worked with, he had a '94 uh, Mustang Cobra, and he wanted to put in '94 Mustang. It didn't. It kicked him out. He wanted to put in '94 Cobra. He kicked him out. So he put in Cobra '94, and it kicked him out. And he just put a 9 on the end of it, and it said, "Okay, yep, that's acceptable." So uh, for the longest time, he was Cobra 949, and then we just adopted the last three numbers as our guild name, and that's where the 949 comes from. I could remove it, but it's been there for so long that I just, it's automatic. You know, but yeah, the whole crazy kid thing there. Yeah, it's it still makes me laugh about how foolish that guy was. He should have backed off when he realized that I wasn't gonna I wasn't gonna back down. Yep. Yeah, we'll talk to you later, Gary. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Uh, I'm gonna try to do this every week. If keep getting at least a few people in here. Try to make this a weekly thing. Tell your friends, tell your neighbor, tell your brother, tell your mother. Like, let's bring everybody in here. Bring up the laughter in the world and bring up the cheer. I got all kinds of other stuff that I can make videos on because crazy stuff always happens around Crazy Kid. Who else is left in the audience here? I know Jizmar's there. Yeah, another reason why I want to move to the Philippines is that most of the women in my area, they're only after the 3 6s. And if you don't know what those are, six pack abs, six-figure salary, and be hung 6 inches from the floor. Now, in order for me to qualify for that, I would have to win the lottery twice, get a tummy tuck, and then crawl around on my hands and knees for the rest of my life. That's not going to happen. Oh, and I just said that in front of a guy who's got gospel in his name. I'm going to hell now. If I say anything that offends anybody, I don't mean any harm. I just try to, use my own experiences to try to bring light and happiness and laughter to people. Have you ever heard of Fourth Impact, Hageo? Because if you're into uh, like gospel music, you should hear Selena from Fourth Impact sing "At the Cross." Ooh. Like I'm not a super religious person. Like I do believe. I don't, go to church every day or every week. But I do believe and I do honor the Maker. Just I have my own system of beliefs, and I'm not going to bow down to one specific brand's um, uh, personal look. Okay, you're busy there. Oh, that's cool. I just found a new tool. Doo da doo da. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'd love to be able to get my channel monetized to the point where I'm making a decent wage on it. Because like this would be fun if I could just you know basically start off saying when somebody asks me what I do, hey, I do YouTube. Why is that? Because this is the way we pay the bills, pay the bills, pay the bills. I did that one time when when I was at work. I punched in, and everybody I worked with, they all thought I was nuts at any given time. But this one time, I just basically gave them a reason to call the funny farm, and have me try to have me put into padded cell. I went, I punched in, and then people were saying hi to me and stuff like that as I was walking by. And just out of nowhere, I just started skipping, going, this is the way we pay the bills, pay the bills, pay the bills. And everybody started laughing. They're going, oh, he lost it now. He's going to have an interesting shift. I think there was even some people asking the foreman after that, if there was a 12-hour shift available because they wanted to see what I was going to do next. I always I always tried to make work fun, and time would go by like this. Oh, only the lonely. Looks like it's just you and me, Gail. Oh, Gismar's back. Yeah, I think I might close this down after 2 hours. Um, we've only got a couple people in here and running out of things to talk about. So I just want to thank everybody for coming in and thank everybody for showing up. I sincerely hope that everybody had fun. I hope everybody had a good laugh or even a laugh. Um, I wish everybody peace, love, and happiness. So I guess we're just gonna shut her down there. Have a good one, folks.